morning, everybody. Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Today is the day we finally put the end of the cooling fan issue with my sister's 2017 Ford Fiesta to rest, because I'm going to get the car now, and today we're going to put in the other cooling fan that I happened to have found at the junkyard. So this is going to be the grand finale. I really hope it'll be the grand finale to this whole Fiesta overheating saga. So if you haven't seen the first two parts of this whole overheating thing with my sister's car, basically what it came down to was, in the very first part, we did come to the conclusion that the cooling fans were not operating when they should. And according to the scan tool, the fans were commanded on by the PCM, but there was no actual fan operation. And granted, in the first part of this video, I didn't have all of the resources, wiring diagrams, schematics. I didn't have any of that stuff to really pinpoint, the exact circuit of the fan, because when I was at my sister's, I could not log on to Ford service data. The site kept crashing on my phone. So we just kind of ended it there, but at least on the first part, it did show me, we did come to the fact that there was no fan operation when there should have been. And then in the second part, we brought the car back here to the house, and we were able to get the diagrams that we needed, and sure enough, we did verify that the fans themselves, or the fan I should say, there's only one, the fan itself is no good. No good. So yeah, we have power going to the fan connector, we have good grounds. I kind of went overboard, I think, just to re-verify everything. I could have easily got under the car when the fans were supposed to be on and made sure there was power going to it. That could have been the end of it, but I really wanted to make sure, I started from the top. We checked the fuses, the relays, continuity from one end of wires to the other, down below, and grounds and stuff. And in even going as far as power probing the fan itself and still having no fan, I wanted to make sure that we covered all of the bases, with this situation. So the fan turned out to be junk, which is really surprising. And then a short time after that, I went to the junkyard. Actually, it was the day after Christmas. I went to the junkyard to get some parts for the Saab, which is another failure in itself because it did not work the way I was hoping. But anyway, beyond the point, I decided to walk through the Ford section of the junkyard, and they had one Fiesta that I happened to notice, and it was all smashed up. It was a complete mess. But as luck would have it, the whole radiator assembly was just sitting perfectly fine there on the ground, and the fan was still intact. And being that it was 50% off day at the junkyard the day after Christmas, I decided to buy it and give it a shot. So we brought it home. It was like $10, $11. Brought it home and I power probed it, and sure enough, the fan works just fine. It's got a little bit of damage around the shroud, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. So today, right now, we're going to get the Fiesta over at my sister's. We're going to bring it back here, and before this huge snowstorm hits this afternoon, or a little bit later this evening, we are going to have the fans swapped out. So a lot of you guys may be wondering, why didn't we just get a brand new fan for the Fiesta? Well, the first part of that is, my sister's hours at work. She's never got the same amount of hours, and, income's kind of tight. Understandable. The fan was well over $100 and some, and it's, she just doesn't have it right now, and that's fine. I told her as long as she doesn't let the car sit for a long period of time, especially right now, it's really cold out right now, not going to really have this overheating issue, but as long as the car is not sitting and running for a while, she doesn't have any problems. And two, just finding this fan here at the junkyard just, you know, in plain sight, you know. I figure for the price that I paid for it, and it does work, if anything, it can be a temporary solution until she wants to buy a new fan. If she even wants to. This fan may never have to be replaced again, you know. Who knows? It could actually be a really, really good fan. But I just found it there, and I wanted to get something in, you know, in the car as soon as we can, so that way, you know, there is always that safeguard, basically, you know. So I think this fan will be okay, you know, at least for some time. But yeah, usually cooling fans can last the entire life of the car. I'm still really amazed that hers, for the car being 4, almost 5 years old, I'm surprised that they had already quit working. And the fan that I bought is from 2012, and it is working just fine. So I don't know. But either way, she's getting a fan. Alright, so here we are. It is back. And we have to get the fans out. Fan, singular. It looks like this. Now this is the one that we got from the junkyard. Like I said, it works. It was 11 bucks. Everything appears to be intact. So this would be the top, like this, with the stickers. Like I said, there was a little bit of damage to the shroud, but when we had it running, it didn't seem to interfere with anything else. And I don't think anything's going to be in the way of that shroud. All the wiring and stuff kind of goes across it, and they have like little, you know, tanks, pins that we have to kind of pull out. One goes here, another one's there, I think another one is there, and I thought maybe there was a fourth one, but maybe not. So anyway, yep, here's our fan. So according to service data, my good laptop, I left it at work, so this old one, I don't know if it's going to make it. You can't see that, it's too dark. But basically, it does say, according to service data, that the fan comes up through the top. We don't have to disconnect this radiator hose. But I don't know, because the radiator hose goes right over the fan. Right over the fan. So service data is saying the air box has to come out. We need to disconnect a few of these vent hoses here. This little snorkel is part of the air box assembly, and then the whole air box comes out, and that opens up all this room here. And then I put the car on the ramps just in case we need to get under there, but I don't know if we have to go under there, because if the air box is out from the top, I think we can reach the connector and possibly get all those other pins and stuff out. But, you know, just in case, we got it up off the ground, in case we need to go up there, or go down there, I should say. So let's start removing the air box, I guess. So it is saying on service data that this vent tube here, and the actual air intake hose, all that has to come off from the actual like throttle body and such. So it does look like that might be a 7, and that is what I brought up. Hopefully we have all of the correct tools today. Yeah, it's a 7. So we'll loosen this clamp up. Yeah, let's try to get to the other clamp. Oh, that's a tight fit. There we go. Some of this video may be recorded with the tripod, by the way, because I don't think I'm going to be able to actually pull the fan out with one hand if I have to go around all these other objects here. That might be loose enough there. Alright, and then I guess we should be able to just pull this off of that. And this one here, it's saying, hold on, let me look. I know you guys can't see because the screen's too dark. Where's my mouse? There we are. Yeah, so this hose actually goes up through here and it goes to the valve cover. Like a PCV hose. But I think what I can do, that'll just pull out of that tab like that. And we could actually use our needle nose and disconnect it from there. That way that whole thing's there. I don't know if I really want to mess with the actual clip on that. Being that it's kind of cold out here and plastic, you know, cold plastic, they don't go good together. It's a weird clip. I don't know if I got the right kind of pliers for this. Yikes, I don't know. I don't know if I like that either. This one, we should just be able to pull this off with no problem. Yeah, so that one's out of the way. We'll just do that. There's really nothing holding the box in, I believe, except for some studs that kind of go into the body, if I'm not mistaken. So we should just be able to really pull up on it. This thing here gets released. Getting this tube off, this snorkel here. Oh, glove number 1's gone. So we need to get this part past this tab, which means we may have to pry up a little bit on it to get it over that. Like this, there we go, nice and easy. There we go, so that's off, just like that. There we go. Okay, so now we can probably get it off the intake throttle body. There we go. Alright, so now that whole thing is loose. And I really wish I can get it off of this. I'm not really too confident in trying to mess with this clip down here. But I also really don't want to bend that hose too much either. So we can take this end off. Okay, so that's off there. Maybe we can, there we go, do that. There. Okay, so just kind of carefully put it that way. I don't think that's going to hurt it. It's got nice bends in it. It's sitting right there. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. That does kind of open up a lot of space to get to the fan stuff. So yeah, we may not actually have to grow under there. But now we need to get all of these Christmas trees out of here. And the one thing I forgot to bring home from work was my pin puller. So that could be a challenge with just a screwdriver. But we're going to try it anyway. So we could probably unplug the fan from here, can't I? I forget how it's... Well, I may need to go under there to unplug it because I can't figure out how to get the plug undone there. Hold on. Okay, so now underneath this, push it in from the top, I think. Hold on, let me put you guys down for a moment. Okay, pry on it. That's right. So, when you go to unplug that, at the top of the connector, you pry this little thing back. That'll unplug it. Ugh, sewer water, guys. So on my way back to my house, there was a water main break on one of the roads. Entire road's flooded with like water. Pretty sure that's what just dripped on me. Okay, so fan's unplugged. So now we just gotta try to get all these Christmas tree connectors off of here. So there's one here, like I said. The other one is here. The third one is here. I guess that's it. So let me do that off camera because that might be a little bit time consuming with this. Alright, so there were 4. My bad. So there was one up here. The one that's really close by, right below it. Oh, part of the shroud actually broke off with it. I thought, okay, no big deal because it's coming out. The 2 bottom ones did break on me, but there might be a little bit of nub left on there to hold them in place, but they're not going anywhere, so that should be fine. So then that's gonna make that whole harness there, you know, away. I could go a step further and actually unplug the hood sensor, but then there's another two more Christmas trees there. So, and the hood cable's here. I don't think the hood cable's going to be in the way. But that's pretty much it. So at this point in time, everything's away from the fan. The fan's ready to come out. So if it's as easy as they say it is in service data, this clip here and then this clip here will actually loosen the fan from the top, and then we just have to wiggle it out of this space without disconnecting the coolant hose. I really hope that works. I mean, it's not a big fan, so I was gonna say we can kind of maneuver it at the bottom too. I mean, it could probably just come out the bottom also. Stand it up, maybe come out this way. But let's see. So, one clip here. One clip here. Let's not break these clips, because that's all that literally locks this fan into place. Alright, here we go. One side. The other side, alright. Pick it up out of the 2 tabs on the bottom. Careful not to do anything with the radiator. Don't dent the radiator or anything. So, actually, it's out. It's on the ground now. Wow, so there we go. So here's the old fan. I still wonder what possibly went bad with it. Now, part of me has actually considered maybe taking just the fan off of the shroud from the one from the junkyard and putting it, you know, into this shroud, since this shroud, you know, doesn't have any, you know, broken bits. But like I said, well, for one, those screws on that one are really rusty, so I don't even want to jeopardize the integrity of you know, breaking off a screw or something with that. But I don't think it's gonna make a difference. But yeah, so there's two stubs here, and those sit at the bottom of the radiator housing. They go into that, and then those top pieces get locked into the tabs on the top. That was actually really easy. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So now we'll go ahead and put this one in. I'm going to try to do this one from the top. I don't really feel like crawling back underneath and trying to push it forward. But just remember, connectors on the bottom when you put it in. So it's going to go in like this. This one actually has a sticker. I don't think the other one had stickers on it. But the caution sticker is always, you know, probably face toward the top. I actually think it does have to kind of go in through the bottom. Because of the way these tabs and stuff are. And these wires are in the way. If I actually disconnected the hood cable, or the hood sensor, I could probably get it in through here, but hold on a second, let me see. Try to push these connectors out of the way, maybe. And I'm still getting stuff in the way. So this clip here. Am I on? Transmission harness. Okay, honestly, probably better to just do it from the bottom. Alright, so I got it through to the bottom. Again, watch all your wiring harness. So now, try to angle it to get into our do it this way. This end up. Almost there. Hey, there we go. All right. Okay, takes a little bit of finagling here and there. So make sure you pull your harness to the front of the fan. There we go. And got one in the bottom, got the other in the bottom. This cable's out of the way. Is that one sitting in there? It's in. All right, so yeah, it is sitting in place. So the best way to do it, I don't know if you were able to really see it, but definitely go in through the bottom. That actually made all the difference, really. So go in through the bottom and then try to get this side up here first. So like kind of angle it up this way, so then you can bring the actual fan side up into it. If you try to do it the other way like I tried to do, the fan kind of gets in the way. So yeah, this is in. So we got both of our tabs sitting in at the bottom, I believe. Yeah, so the one's in there, the other one's right there in place, and our two top ones locked in. Locked in here, locked in here. The shroud is bent a little bit, but I don't think that's gonna hurt anything. There's still some, you know, space. It's not rubbing up against anything. Here's where that broken piece of shroud is, so if the fan's actually on, you can see it's spinning, but there's nothing there that's gonna get in the way. There's nothing here, so I think that's gonna be okay. That's more of a finger thing, so, you know. But hey, keep your hand away, that's what that thing says. But I'll keep this shroud, you know, we won't get rid of this one, just in case, you know, we need it. But we'll keep a hold of that. So let's get everything plugged back in. So yeah, like I said, it's in. So let's plug this Christmas tree into here. Maybe. Is there a broken Christmas? Oh, okay. It's like they don't want to come out, and then sometimes they don't want to go in. Or maybe this part broke off too. I think it did. So the other shroud, the other pin goes here. But it's still clear of the fan. I think we're okay. The other one goes over here. Down here. Try to get that little nub back in there. Okay, and then this one, what's left of it can go, yeah, in there. There we go. And this guy, I don't know, maybe I could zip tie him to something else. Maybe zip tie it around this other piece of shroud here, but either way, it is not in the way of the fan, so I don't think we have to worry about that. And let's actually plug it in. We can plug it in from here. It only goes on one way. So once you find the connector, there we go. Sweet. Alright, so now all we have to do is get our air box back in place. In case you didn't understand what I was saying with the air box, there's this little bushing here that slides into this little thing here, and then at the bottom of the box, like I said, there's two stubs there, and those get pushed down into here and here. And then we just have to hook all of our hoses back up, and then we can start it up, see what happens. So before I actually put this airbox assembly back on, I'm going to hook up the intake tube to it first. And the side with this little, you know, tube here, that's where that one vacuum tube goes. That one, I think it's for maybe the evap, but it's going to go onto that. So that side's going to be closer to the airbox itself. So that side's going to go on like that. Now we can push the airbox in. Be mindful of any other connections, wires, this other vent hose here that I wish we kind of could have taken off, but this guy up here. There we go. Make sure that's sitting in there. Okay, that's still good. Push the rest of this tube onto our throttle body. There we go. Okay. Get this guy to sit in this little clip here. So that's good. That's still up there. Plug this back on. Twist this guy around. Put him back on the intake snorkel. That's it. Done. It's all done. So everything appears to be sitting well. Make sure that's still on there. Make sure none of this came undone or anything bumping into it. All we gotta do now is tighten our clamps. Somebody's trying to get their snowblower started for tomorrow. Doesn't sound like it's going too well. There we go. Don't have to over tighten these clamps, by the way. They just need to be snug. Alright, let's start it up. I could try to test it on max AC again, but I'm not 100% sure with how cold it is if the AC signal is going to if the AC signal is going to be, if it's going to really work because of how cold it is. There's obviously no reason for the AC to be on when it's like 20 some degrees. How cold is it anyway? It did warm up a little bit. 35. It's the wind, it's the breeze. 17. Yes, this is it. This is correct. I got my cord all tangled up weird. Alright, we're going to do live data in the PCM. I'm so sorry for the sniffling, guys. I know that's annoying. I am very unprofessional. But I'm sorry, I can't help it. Anyway, so once this loads up, we are going to do, don't have to do a whole lot. I want engine coolant temp. Right now it's at 80. I do want cooling fan operation, and I want to see fan control and fan control low speed. So obviously that's the one that I most want to see, is this go to on. And when this fan control low speed goes to the on, when the PCM tells it, hey, we need a fan now, that should say on, and our fan should be running. Oops. And that is something that was not happening when we had the other fan in there. That would say on, and we didn't have any fan. So I will try max AC real quick. It's 82 degrees. Engine temperature. I don't know if it's really going to read this right away, but we'll see. So max AC. Maybe once the engine gets warmer and it picks up more pressure under there, but yeah, see, so far it's off.
1
I think I'm just gonna wait for it to get warm. So I'll leave that off. Temperature's rising, so probably, you know, around the 200-ish degree mark, you know, we should start to see a fan. So we'll let it sit here for a moment and we'll go from there. Other than that, our coolant level looks good. The car's leaning, obviously, so, but if it's on level ground, it's probably still just a hair above max where I put it. This is still on good. All our vacuum lines are still on good. Yeah, that actually turned out to be pretty easy. I was expecting more of a fight, to be honest with you. But yeah, going through the bottom, because it's all open down there, going through the bottom is most certainly the easiest way to do it, as long as you can kind of, you know, get some room to work under there. So yeah, that's good. The fan altogether honestly would have made perfect sense. You know, it all makes perfect sense, you know, thinking about all the symptoms that the car was actually having when it was doing its overheating thing. It was sitting still. Obviously, if the car is sitting still for a long time and the fans aren't working, there's no air coming in through the front. There's no air to draw against, you know, the radiator and stuff to keep the coolant from getting hot. So that right there, you know, was kind of always leading me to believe that the fan was going to be the issue. It was just a matter of really figuring out if the fan was broken itself or if we had an actual electrical issue going to the fan. Another thing that makes perfect sense too is, and I don't know if I ever disclosed this, but in the summertime, she said when her air conditioning was on and she was at a stoplight or something, the air conditioning didn't feel all that cold. But then once she started driving again, the air conditioning felt nice and cool again. That makes sense because you need the cooling fan to draw air through the AC condenser up front. And that contributes a lot to AC performance, which is why if we turn the max AC function on, the fan should automatically kick on. But right now, like I said, with how cold it is, it probably won't, because of, like, you know, pressure in the system due to temperature maybe. So that's why I'm just gonna let it sit here. It's at 135 right now, so we'll let it sit here for a few more minutes and hope for the best. Now, on this car, the thermostat starts to open at 180 degrees. So we are at 174. And I think at full temp, I don't remember offhand, like 210, I think, when the thermostat's fully opened. So anywhere between 180 and 210, I'm assuming that's when we should see our fan being controlled on to help regulate the temperature. Obviously our gauge is in the safe zone. It's right where it should be. So that thermostat's going to get ready to open. And then anywhere after 180, we should see the PCM tell the fan to turn on. And we should have a fan. Alright, 181. So the thermostat is starting to creep open. Get some more of that coolant circulating through the whole system. Put a few more things up on the screen. Got the RPMs, which, you know, are going to change. Like that. But that's the engine running speed. And the car's been on for 21 minutes so far. And we're just now starting to get into the upper, you know, closer to 200 degree mark. Alright, so here we are at 208 degrees. So at this point in time, it should not be much longer until we see the PCM try to command this fan on. It's been 27 minutes since I started this car. It actually, this little engine takes a while. Oh no! No! I swear, it's, you know, the cold is not helping me at all. There is a breeze. The breeze is probably going in through the front of the car. And thus it is, it's messing up my diagnosis, man. Or my, not my diagnosis, but my, you know, my fix. It's messing up my fix. actually takes quite a while for this thing to get warm. You know, I think the last time when we were trying to get it to run hot to see if the fans, you know, were doing anything, this car was running for well over an hour before it was actually getting to like 220 and such. I mean, it takes a long time for this little engine to really get hot. So you can imagine when you're sitting in the line at Dunkin' and you're waiting there for 20 some minutes after you've already driven the car and it was fully warm, and then you're in line with other cars that are emitting heat. Oh, 210, there we go, come on. Then I could imagine, you know, how maybe the temperature is gonna rise. So 210, all right. So any moment, anything shortly after 210 is gonna kick this fan on. And then we need to run out there real quick and make sure. We should hear it. Oh, there it is. Heck yeah, baby. Nice. All right. That's it. Done. See, works perfectly fine. Woohoo! So glad we're done with that. All right. I am happy. She's gonna be happy. 210 was the magic number. Look, dropped it down to 195. Sweet. The overheating days, done. And the car only took about a half hour to get there, so awesome. Awesome. Done deal. Oh, I am so happy. I'm so happy that that's done. There may still be overheating codes in here, I'm assuming, so we'll go ahead and delete those while we're here. I think I do have to shut the car off for that, so shut that off. Turn the key back on. Oh, that is awesome. Good. So I waited all that time just to verify that, you know, that was going to work, and it does. So beautiful. You guys have no idea how happy that makes me. No fault codes detected. Oh, okay. So last time I deleted these, there must not have been any codes. We'll do a full auto scan here just to make sure. Just to make sure. No? Okay. So no overheating codes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, so this car, perfect health. No codes at all, no stored overheating codes. Absolutely beautiful. That is what I like to see. Wonderful. I am so happy, guys. You have no idea how happy I am that this whole situation is now finally over and we got to the bottom of it. Oh, so happy. Now I gotta prepare for the snowstorm that's supposed to dump over a foot of snow. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care.